going to get started on doing the barley mushroom dish. First thing we're going to do is it called for 2 shallots. I do not have those. I have got a yellow onion that I sliced, and I tried to get it pretty thin on the slices. Yellow onion is a good sub for shallots. Just in case, I'm going to turn the heat on here. I'm going to put it on a low to begin with. It calls for 2/3 cup of oil. So we're going to get that to heat up. Put this back over here. And, you know, I'm going to grab my instructions right here. I got them hanging. Small saucepan over medium-high heat. So I'm going to turn my heat up here. You know, I'm going to hang this over here now. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in here. I'm going to just kind of break it up. My hands are clean, by the way. I did wash them. Break these up some. We're making this for the first time together, folks. Swirling the pan occasionally to keep the shallots from burning until they are a golden brown. And we'll see how that works out here. It says 5 to 7 minutes. So we'll get that going. And then in the skillet, this stuff over here, we are going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. With my tablespoon here into this pan. There's 1 and 2. Oh, my lid's not on tight. Wipe that off. So we'll get this to heat up. And we're going to heat this up until it starts to turn, until it kind of starts to smoke. Then I'm going to add in the mushrooms in a single layer. This calls for fresh mushrooms, 8 ounces worth. I do not have fresh mushrooms. And since this is a use it out of your pantry, plus if the snow is coming down really pretty heavy, we're getting a really good snowstorm right now. I'm using my canned mushrooms. So once this starts to kind of smoke a little bit, I'll get the mushrooms into it. We'll let them cook for about 3 minutes, flip them around, and until they're kind of a golden brown on it. And then we are going to add in the thyme, which I'm using dried. I don't have fresh thyme either. I do have garlic and the butter to the skillet. And we are going to just baste the mushrooms with it. And then we're going to put the mushrooms into a small bowl, leaving the garlic and the thyme behind in the skillet. And then we'll continue. So here is this. It's starting to really cook. Let me get out my spatula here. My soup is still heating up. I turned it down just a little bit since I'm doing this other cooking. I was going to have this all as one meal. And I've got the balsamic brown sugar pork loin that I made the other night. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit here. But when these get brown, and I'm going to put the mushrooms in, since that's going to take a little while, I'll bring you back whenever I do that. So the onions are done. The mushrooms are pretty well done. So I am putting in, that's 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put in a 3rd one here for it. I am going to grab that rogue mushroom and throw it back in. It calls for 2 sprigs of fresh thyme. I don't have fresh, so I am actually not going to sprinkle it because I'm not getting anywhere with that. Teaspoon here. Put a little bit in. And it says to leave, whenever you take all of this out, leave the thyme behind, but there's no way that I can do that, so it's just going to get incorporated into the dish. And then it also calls for 1 minced garlic. I have already, let me turn this down a little bit. I've already peeled my garlic. I've got it into my mincer here. Just get it in there. This house smells so good, I gotta tell you. Between those onions cooking and the garlic, the mushrooms, and a new spatula. Yeah, it's just the skin that's in there. I'll get that out. You can use my spoon here. Just stir this around for, reduce the heat down even more here. And to stir the mushrooms. If these were whole mushrooms, like the recipe calls for, you would just be basting them with the butter sauce. Then we are going to put these into a bowl. Let me just grab one here. And you're supposed to use the slotted spoon to take it out. It had said to cook until the butter smelled nutty. You know what? Doesn't quite smell nutty yet. Let's put this back in. Real life here, folks. You know what? I'm not going to use that bowl. I am going to get my big mixing bowl because we are going to end up putting in. Okay, I'm not moving that. Let it cool off here. I don't know what was on the bottom of it, but. Okay, so my mushrooms are done. I am going to transfer them into this bowl. Put them in there. I think I'm going to be using this butter for something else if it's not used up in the rest of this recipe. Turn this off. It says to mix in the barley. This is the purple barley. It came from Asher. Very healthy for you. I'll leave it in the links. This is what I cooked last night. It was 1 cup of barley. I think I put like 3 cups of water all total into it. That tossed really good. So we're going to do parsley. And I do not have fresh parsley, which is what it called for. Let me put some in my little measuring cup here. This would be a prettier dish if I did have the fresh parsley, but we're using it out of the pantry. Parsley is actually really healthy for you too. It's good for indigestion, and it is also good for breath, actually. in here. And it calls for 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I do not have fresh lemon juice. This came out of my stock. So I'm just going to do a couple teaspoons of it. And I'm going to leave the cilantro out because I am not a cilantro fan. If David was home, I would be putting it in it, or at least in his part of it. This is actually looking really good, folks. And then it is 1/2 ounce Parmesan. You know what? Let me run and grab the Parmesan. Hang on just a second. We're going for a little bit different taste because I do not have Parmesan. I have got Swiss Bouillerie. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And I am just going to sprinkle some into it. I can always add more to it. Sorry about the mess over here. And the cottage cheese is where I put my stuff that goes out into the compost whenever I'm working in the kitchen. So let's just kind of toss this up together. And I believe I already, oh, you guys weren't watching, I didn't have it on. I did do the salt and pepper on the mushrooms whenever they were cooking. And let me get this off of here. And this is why you don't turn your back on your onions whenever you're cooking them. These got a little bit on the brown side, and if I need more onion in this, I'll use them because really they taste just like fried onions. They're just a little bit on the darker side. They're not that golden brown. Okay, and this is it, folks. So let me oh no, it's not. I need to add 2 tablespoons of the onion oil. 1, 2. Now we'll toss it, and then it will be done. It actually looks really good, folks. I'm going to get a picture of the whole dinner once I get it plated up. And I will bring you back to do the rest of the soup too. So this is it plated up. This is the barley, purple barley and the mushroom with the green is the parsley and the cheese in it. It is really, really good. And onion, it has onion in it. This is my sweet potato soup that has got the bacon bits crumbled up in it. It has got the garden herb bread that I made the other day. I put the cheese mixture on it and then just a little slice of bacon to help decorate it. This is the pork loin that I made the other night. That turned out really good. It's balsamic brown sugar, and there will be a video out on that too. I did put it on a slice of the garden herb bread. None of the juice was left. We must have put it in the other dish, but there wasn't any in the container that had this in it. Or you could just have it plain if you wanted to. It is delicious all by itself. So I hope that you folks enjoy this, that you learned something from it, and that you will give it a try. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about it or what you would do different. How would you change it up? Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.